Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. So, Pogba speaks out on his struggles at Manchester United this season and says he's never known such a difficult period in his career. Now, Didier Deschamps, who is the France manager, he's been talking a lot about Paul Pogba recently, saying that he's mentally impacted, reflecting on his struggles at Manchester United. And he said not so long ago that Paul Pogba cannot be happy at the football club for being left on the bench and for playing out of position. And Didier Deschamps said that he wanted to talk with Paul Pogba over his situation at Old Trafford. Paul Pogba has lost his place in the team. He's only started 2 of our last 7 games. This is actually why Paul Pogba is unhappy. And in recent weeks, Paul Pogba has received a lot of criticism from Jamie Carragher. Dion Dublin also criticised him the other week. Roy Keane has also said that Paul Pogba is not good enough for Manchester United. Carlton Palmer, he's predicted Paul Pogba to leave the football club as well. Paul Pogba was unhappy when we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. Earlier on in the season, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract to keep him under contract with the club until June 2022. There has been no talks over getting Paul Pogba a long-term contract at the football club. During the summer, Pogba's agent Mini Raiola came out and he said that Pogba wants to stay, and he said he will hold talks over a new long-term contract. Now, Paul Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga at Manchester United, hasn't he? Now, there's been a lot of narratives of him possibly going to Real Madrid. Now, don't forget he made an admission earlier on in the season saying that one day his dream is to join Real Madrid. And last year he was talking a lot about Real Madrid and Zinedine Zidane. And he also said that he wanted to leave Manchester United because he was seeking for a new challenge. I read a story earlier on today and it said that Real Madrid have informed Man United that they will have negotiations over the possible swap deal involving Federico Valverde and Paul Pogba. Swap deals are very, very rare in the modern game. There's obviously been rumours of him going back to Juventus. Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus, but the vast majority of his performances at Man United have been totally comparison to his ones at Juventus. PSG and Barcelona have been in for him before. Now, Paul Pogba has made over 100 appearances for the club in all competitions since he rejoined. He's won 3 trophies at the club, and that was the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield. He's sustained a few injuries as well. Don't forget last season he was out with that ankle injury, was Paul Pogba. As it stands at the moment, he is our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him. Not only that, he's one of the highest paid players at the club because he's on 290 grand a week. In reality, you can say we made a mistake by getting rid of Pogba when he was younger. Because we had him when he was young under Ferguson, but we had to let him go due to limited appearances. So, what do you think to this news of in regards to Paul Pogba? Do let me know. So yeah, that's the breaking news on him. Now, I want to delve into some news on Bruno Fernandes. Now, Bruno Fernandes says Manchester United have got the mentality to win the Premier League title. He said it has been too long now since Manchester United last won it. Now, we haven't won it for 8 years. The last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. Bruno Fernandes also says that he came to Manchester to win trophies. And he's also praised Michael Carrick for, his development, in coaching and all of that. So yeah, I like Bruno Fernandes' confidence. I really, really do. Bruno Fernandes is definitely Manchester United's best player. Bruno Fernandes has endured around 9 months now at the football club. Obviously, last season he won Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year award, and he also won Premier League Player of the Month twice, reflecting on his good performances. Now, the vast majority of Bruno Fernandes' goals have obviously come from the penalty spot. He recently scored 2 goals against Everton, and he also got an assist. We paid £47 million for him from Sporting Lisbon back in January, but definitely has made the difference in the team. So that's the breaking news on that. Now, obviously, Man United are looking to make more signings next year. I think Manchester United need a centre-half because we need someone to go alongside Harry Maguire, and I think we also need a right winger. Now, there's already a lot of players on our agenda. Recently, David Carmo from Braga has been on our agenda. Also, Dan Axel Zagadou, he's been on our agenda. Daya Upamecano, he's on our agenda, but he's also now on Liverpool's agenda. Jack Grealish is on our agenda. That Eduardo Camavinga's been on our agenda. Also, I think we'll go back in for Jadon Sancho next year. I think we could go back in for Ousmane Dembele. Could go in for Erling Haaland. I think in reality, Manchester United need around 5 signings at least to win the Premier League title, and I think we probably need at least 2 signings or 3 to compete for the title. You know what I mean? We're also going to focus on the outgoings next year as well as the incomings, because there's still deadwood at Manchester United that we need to get rid of. I think next year we'll be looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard, we'll be looking to get rid of Marcus Rojo, we'll be looking to get rid of Phil Jones. We're expecting Pogba to leave next year. We're also think Matic could leave next year because Matic has lost his place in the team. Possibly Juan Mata could be sold next year. I think Romero will be sold if Dean Enson stays, but if Dean Enson goes out on loan, then I think Romero will stay as a backup. Daniel James could also go next year because he's out of form and doesn't really get in the team a lot now. Could loan Brandon Williams out because Brandon Williams is now our 3rd choice left back following the arrival of Alex Tellez. Lee Grant, he's another player I think we could be offloading. Now, Solskjaer may not be Manchester United manager by the new year. But there again, he could be. It depends on how we do after the international break. If we win our next 5 or 6 games, then a lot of pressure will ease off Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, won't it? He's under pressure now at the moment. Some of the pressure eased off him though, reflecting on that 3-1 win against Everton. Now, we've had some good results this season, and we've also had some poor results as well. You know, the good results came against RB Leipzig and PSG. And Everton, that was a good result. But the bad results came against Crystal Palace, because we lost to them on the opening day 3-1. We lost to Tottenham 6-1. That was a embarrassing defeat. We lost to Arsenal the other week 1-0, and we lost to Istanbul Başakşehir in the Champions League group stage, and that was also an embarrassment. So as it stands at the moment, we are sitting 14th in the Premier League. We have registered just 10 points from our opening 7 league games, and we know that's nowhere near good enough to our standards. But there's still a long way to go yet in the season. Obviously, there has been talks of Mauricio Pochettino becoming Manchester United's next manager, but I don't see him coming in now because Pochettino will not wait. Plus, I don't think he'll come in of what Ed Woodward has said this week, because Ed Woodward has come out and said that Manchester United remain absolutely committed to Solskjaer despite our poor start to the season. You know, but the main explanation why I think Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager is because he's a club legend, and reflects on that our board soften our stance on him. Disregarding him being a club legend, I don't think he would have been Manchester United manager now. You know what I mean? But I've got to say, Ole has not been backed enough at the football club. He really hasn't. You know, he wasn't backed enough during the summer transfer window because we missed out on all of his priority targets. You know, none of our managers have been backed enough since the Sir Alex Ferguson era, and the board have been the problem, one of the problems at the club for the last 7 years or so. You know what I mean? There's obviously been other issues at the club as well. I've already gone through with you what Solskjaer should do at Man United to make us more consistent, and I think he's got to select the right formation. He's also got to identify his best players. I think he's also got to start Donny van der Beek, because, you know, Donny van der Beek hasn't had many chances. I think he's got to start Edison Cavani. He's got to obviously start McTominay ahead of Pogba. We need to keep Pogba out of the team and that. So these are the things he should do, you know. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been Manchester United manager now for almost 2 years. And he's got a contract with the football club until 2022. If we did sack him, it would cost the club around £4 or £5 million. This is his second full season as Manchester United manager, and he's managed over 100 games for Man United in all competitions, hasn't he? And he's won around 57 games as Manchester United manager. I said if we could finish in the top 4 this season, and if we could win a trophy, that would represent a good season for Man United, and that would then give us something to build on, wouldn't it? But like I've said to you time and time again, Ole Solskjaer, he's in a position he shouldn't be in, because we made a mistake by giving him the job permanently. But the main explanation we gave him the job permanently was reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was temporary boss. And like I've said as well, you know, Solskjaer's inheriting a lot of players from the Jose Mourinho era. Still a few players from the Van Gaal era. Still one player from the Moyes era. And there's only 2 players now from the Sir Alex Ferguson era, isn't there? Now, I have taken positives from Ollie's tenure. Like I said, he's made some good signings since he got appointed in as Man United manager. You know, he's brought like 10 senior players in, and he's spent over £200 million at the club, and he's enjoyed 4 transfer windows. You know, he's also got rid of a lot of players since he got recommended in. I also like the way he has promoted the youth. He did well in his first full season last season. Solskjaer has showed a lot of tactical flexibility as well in a lot of the big games. And our record against the top 6 sides has been impressive since he got recommended in, you know. So they're the positives you can take, and we've had some good periods under him. I think definitely Manchester United need a director of football. So obviously Ole can get more backing, and it's one of the structural changes that we need at the football club. Now, I give you the news, didn't I, regarding a director of football this morning. He says we are on red alert in our hunt for a director of football after the Ajax duo, Mark Overmars and Edwin van der Sar, said they are eyeing new challenges abroad. Mark Overmars is the director of football at Ajax, and Edwin van der Sar is the chief executive in that. And I said, we've got to recommend someone in who's got that experience and someone who obviously knows the culture of the club, and obviously Edwin van der Sar knows the club quite well. Because don't forget, Van der Sar endured 6 years with us as a goalkeeper from 2006. 5 years with us from 2006 to 2011. And he made 266 appearances for the club in all competitions, didn't he? There's been a few names linked with that director's role. We have been in for a director of football now for the last 3 years or so. You know what I mean? But yeah, in the last 7 years or so, Man United have been very, very inconsistent. We've obviously had different managers with different philosophies. We spent close to the £1 billion range on players. We recruited over 30 odd players in since the Sir Alex Ferguson era and that. So there you go. So it probably wouldn't really solve a lot if we did sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer from the club. Really, really wouldn't. We've obviously had some bad news in regards to Alex Tellez. Globo Esporte recently said that Alex Tellez has tested positive for coronavirus. So that means he's probably going to miss the game against West Brom on next Saturday. He probably isn't going to be part of the Brazil squad, is he? So he won't be able to travel to Uruguay. He's already had coronavirus before as Alex Tellez. Alex Tellez has only played once for Man United since he came in, and that was a 2-1 win against PSG. That was his debut for the club, but I think he's going to be a very, very good signing for us anyway. Marcus Rashford's had a shoulder problem, as you all know. Phil Jones, he's out with injury. Eric Bailly's out with a muscle injury. I think he's out for a few weeks. That's my element of concern about Eric Bailly. He's, far too injury prone. Lingard's injured, but I heard he's close to returning. Luke Shaw's obviously out with a hamstring injury. He's out for up to a month. So that's very, very bad news from a Manchester United perspective. You know what I mean? But like I've said, these players at Manchester United this season that have really, really impressed me. Marcus Rashford has really, really impressed me. He's one of Manchester United's best players. Rashford has been part of the club for several years. Rashford recently turned 23. Rashford's been a United player since the age of 7. And he's been in our senior squad since 2016. Rashford recently got an assist against Everton. He also scored a hat-trick against RB Leipzig. He became the second Manchester United player to score a hat-trick as a substitute. He also scored a late winner in Paris, and he scored a few goals in the league this season. Rashford's more effective out wide than he is centrally. Now, Bruno Fernandes, I've also been very, very impressed with him. I've been very, very impressed with Fred. I like the way that Fred's kept the ball. He's dictated the play well. He's showed good attacking intent as Fred. So that's good to see. You know, we paid big money for Fred. We paid £52 million for him from Shakhtar Donetsk, and Fred has got a contract with the football club until 2023. I've also been very, very impressed with Harry Maguire recently. Good to see Harry Maguire bounce back from his early season troubles, because before the start of the season he had that incident in Greece and he had a few knocks and he got sent off in one of England's games. Harry Maguire is our current captain. Most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment, because we got him in a deal worth £80 million. Harry Maguire. And Wan-Bissaka, I've recently been very, very impressed with him. I like the way he's rejuvenated himself, because Wan-Bissaka had a pretty poor start to the season, didn't he? But yeah, recently showed good attacking intent and his defensive contributions been very, very good. This is Wan-Bissaka's second season at Man United. We got him in a deal worth £50 million from Crystal Palace in the summer of 2019. David De Gea, he's also done well recently. You know, he's made some very, very good saves. But there has been a couple of games where David De Gea hasn't really had to do much. Being a long servant at the club, this is now his 10th season at Manchester United, David De Gea's, isn't it? And, you know, David De Gea has made over 400 appearances for the club in all competitions. Luke Shaw's done well in his last couple of games because he's got 2 assists in his last 2 games. Juan Mata's impressed me in a lot of games he's played in this season. He was very, very good in both of the Carabao Cup games. He was also very good against Newcastle. He wasn't so bad against Chelsea. Juan Mata's had a good career at Man United. He's enjoyed a good 6 years or so at the football club. We paid just under £40 million in from Chelsea back in 2014. So yeah, they are the players that have impressed me. Edison Cavani's impressed me recently because he scored his first goal for Manchester United. Edison Cavani in our 3-1 win against Everton, and he almost scored with his first touch against Chelsea when he came on. Cavani's not yet made his full Premier League debut for the club. We got Edison Cavani on a free transfer on deadline day. Cavani signed a 2-year contract with the club worth around 230 grand a week, was it? And he's obviously our number 7. Donny van der Beek, I've been impressed with him in the games he's played in, but he's hardly played for Manchester United. You know, he started in our last 2 Champions League games, but he's not yet made his full Premier League debut for the club. Donny van der Beek recently revealed that Solskjaer told him he must be patient and he must wait for his opportunities. Donny van der Beek said, though, he would have loved to have played more at Manchester United this season. We paid £40 million for him from Ajax, and Donny van der Beek signed a 5-year contract with the club with an option of a further year, and he currently wears that number 34 shirt. Van der Beek's predominantly a box-to-box midfielder, but you can also put him in the number 10 like we did against Leipzig, and you can also play out wide, can't he? So yeah, they are the players that have impressed me this season. There has been players that have been underperforming. Like I said, Mason Greenwood's had a lot of issues, hasn't he? So you can't really say he's been underperforming. I give you the news on Mason Greenwood this morning, didn't I? And it says we fear Mason Greenwood could throw his career away like Ravel Morrison. And Adi Boothroyd, who's the England's under-21 manager, he recently confirmed why Greenwood was out of the England under-21 squad, and that was due to injuries and personal issues. It was only earlier on this season Mason Greenwood was withdrawn from the England squad with Phil Foden for breaking COVID-19 rules. But I think Mason Greenwood's still the foreseeable future for Man United, definitely. I think we feel as though that he hasn't had enough sleep, Mason Greenwood, and we've been concerned about his attitude and his lifestyle, etc., etc., and that confirmed at the start of the season that would give him that number 11 shirt. Martial, now, he's been disappointing this season. I know Martial obviously had to serve a 3-game suspension in the league because he got sent off in our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham. In reality, he shouldn't have been sent off against Tottenham, Martial. I think he shouldn't have been sent off. Simple as that. But anyway, he served his 3-game suspension. He's now back. But he's got to improve. Last season Martial was very, very good under Ole, and he was good in his debut season under Louis van Gaal, wasn't he? Martial's enjoyed a good 5 years or so at the football club. At Tomway, I haven't been that impressed with him. He's had a good couple of games, but he's nowhere near as good as Fred, in my opinion. Matic, he hasn't impressed me really when he's played, but he's obviously lost his place now in the team anyway. Matic has enjoyed around 3 years or so at the club. We paid £40 million for him from Chelsea back in 2017. Victor Lindelof has had some good games this season, but I have still got element of concerns about Victor Lindelof, definitely. So there you go. And Pogba, he's been very, very disappointing. You saw my video that I did yesterday. Solskjaer is facing a dilemma with Facundo Pellistri. Because Solskjaer promised Facundo Pellistri first team opportunities when he signed, and Ole has broken that promise. Ole said he's got to spend more time in the reserves before he makes his debut in the first team. Last month, Facundo Pellistri made his debut for the under-23s against Everton. We paid around £9 million for Facundo Pellistri from Penarol, didn't we? What's going to happen with Amad Traore when he comes in January? Is he going to get into the first team straight away, or is he going to be in the academy and then work his way up to the first team? We will have to see. So, we've got West Brom after this international break. Man United should be winning that game. If we do beat West Brom, it will be our 4th win in the Premier League this season, and it will be our first win at Old Trafford. After West Brom, Istanbul Başakşehir, then it's Southampton. Southampton's going to be a tough game. So, So we'll have to see how we go on after this international break. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.